Hi Andrew, this is Alan Cockrell with ABC, former hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies and Seattle Mariners. We'll take a look at your video this morning. Andrew, the first thing that I always look at is just to make sure that we're starting and maintaining balance in our swing and set process. And balance for me is keeping our knees inside of our feet and our head inside of our knees. And as you can see, you're in a good balanced setup position. You got getting a good 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock look at the pitcher with your eyes, your head's fully around. So I like the position that we start in. We're going to run this forward into the load phase, and you have been told to get your foot down. Okay, so you have an early preset load. Your foot is now down, but if you'll watch, Andrew, what you do is you go again as the pitch is starting to come. Okay, you're going to load again from right there. Okay, see your heel come up, all right, and now you only have your toe down. All right, so really for me, you're not loaded until the second phase happens. We'll run this back and look at it again. Okay, your foot is down right there. Your foot's down. Okay, now you're going to go again. Pitcher's starting to come, so you're going to get off your heel, and basically now we're really into the load phase. You're at toe touch. Most hitters, yourself included here, the toe will land first. It's not until this heel fully plants into the ground am I loaded. Okay, so even though you get your foot down early, you're really not loaded until this particular point right here. All right, once we get to this point, I look to see again my knees inside my feet right here. Back knees inside that foot, front knees inside. Okay, I want to make sure at this point I have good equal bend in both knees. Right, you're pretty good position right there. I want to make sure that my hips are square to home plate. Okay, and the biggest thing that I look for in keeping my hips square to home plate is I always take a look at guys' stride foot. When the heel plants, I'm gonna measure to see where you are with your stride foot. You're at 52 degrees. In order to be closed and squared up, in order to keep this front hip right here, to keep these hips square and not get this front hip right here wanting to leak open too early, we need to keep this front stride foot at no more open than 45 degrees. If it opens more then you start to see a leaky front hip. Okay, when we start to leak open with our front hip, it's difficult to handle pitches on the outer half of the plate, and it's difficult to handle pitches that are running away from us, breaking balls, curve balls, sliders, things of that nature. So even though you get your foot down early, you're not really loaded until the stride foot heel lands. Okay, and I just like to see you more at a 45-degree angle when that stride heel lands. All right, now we're going to take it forward. As we move forward, first move is you get a really good first move. All right, all the energy that you have loaded up into your back leg right here is driving forward. We're going to transfer that or make a weight shift into the inside part of our front leg. You do a good job of doing that. Okay, we're going to run forward. The next phase is the connection. The connection is the elbow. This elbow will drop down into the slot next to the rib cage and the back hip, and this connection should look like back shoulder, back elbow, and back hip are all in alignment. You're in a good position there. Now as we move forward, the only thing that should move forward at this point are your hands. Your hands now should start to move forward in front of your body. It should start to move out here. We want to get them past the center of gravity, which is your belt buckle or your belly button. Okay, so if we go forward and we look at this, what I see is I see that elbow right here. I see this elbow continuing forward, and again, that's taking away from power, and it's also causing our hands back here to drag behind in our swing just a little bit too much. Okay, this elbow's come forward too much to the point to where now our hands are not working in front of our inner back. At this position, I'd rather see, instead of your elbow coming forward, I'd rather see your hands starting to work in front of your elbow, your back hip, and your back shoulder. Okay, so we'll run forward. We'll go forward. Now the hands are starting to catch up, and we're starting to get in front of our body, and by this time we've already kind of come out and around the baseball just a little bit, okay? Things that I do like in this sequence right here, I like how you're palm up, palm down, okay? I think we can do a little bit better job of keeping our head down in the hitting area, looking right down the barrel of the bat at contact. And because this elbow has got in front of our power source, that back hip, the barrel path is starting to come around the ball just a little bit. As you can see here, we're making contact out here somewhere off the end of the bat, so it's an out and around swing instead of a direct through the ball or to the ball and through the ball swing, okay? But we'll run it forward to extension. Once we get contact, you've done a good job of trying to stay through this ball. Your barrel is pointing directly at the pitcher. Again, head and eyes need to be down. Just know that, Andrew, as soon as the head and eyes leave the hitting area, basically the swing is over. When the head and eyes leave, the barrel of the bat will start to leave too. So we'll see the next move is we're starting to pull our hands across our body instead of finishing with a nice, full, long, high finish, okay? And you can see your angle of your bat is starting to come across here instead of finish with a nice loop up here, out and around. All right, just a little bit more extension, okay? So if we run this thing back, I think the biggest thing that you can work on is when your foot gets down, okay? You have the early load. All right, here's your load right here, okay? That's down, that's loaded. You have weight gathered into the backside, inside part of your back leg, okay? We cannot go again because when we go again, see how it opens up your front side, okay? Your toe comes up, your heel plants, and now the front foot is open too much, causing the front hip to want to fly open, okay? So we either need to not do the second load, or we just need to have a conventional load where when my foot lands, I'm landing at a 45-degree angle with the front foot, okay? It's just causing us to want to come out and around. So what I would do is I would stick a tee on the outer half of home plate, or third of home plate, and I would set it just off my back foot, or my stride foot, right in here, just off of maybe just right at the toe area, okay? And I would work on keeping this front foot at a 45-degree angle so that I can have good direction and good drive through this ball. My goal would be to hit line drives to the right side of the cage, or if I'm doing this on the field, I'm hitting line drives through the second baseman or into the right center field gap. The second thing that I would work on, Andrew, is as we take this forward, once we get to the connected position, shoulder back, elbow back, hip, I would now want to hold this position, okay, and I would only want my hands to work forward with this back side to drive this ball through the right side of the cage, okay? And as you can see, your back elbow continues to go forward, which opens up your front side, opens up that front shoulder, opens up that front hip. So now the only direction that we can go is to balls that are going to be on the inner half of the plate. Basically, it makes us a pull hitter. So that would be my suggestion. Balls on a tee, outer half, outer third, making sure the connection's good and making sure that the stride foot right here is no more open than 45. Okay, Andrew, I want to thank you for coming to our